Hello everyone, this is week 1 of grade 10 math, and our unit is variables and relationships as part of data management. Well, we want to look at this cause and effect relationship. We know that everything in life, when there's a cause or when something happens, there's usually also an effect. And we want to look at 3 types of variables: independent variables, dependent variables, and controlled variables. Any factor that has an effect on something else is called an independent variable. For example, the hours that you study for a test, doing your homework, paying attention, add a combination for a positive effect on something, certainly is. In the same way, if you have water and sunshine and fertilizer, don't these all have an effect on a tree or the growth of a tree? Now, anything that is affected by other factors in an experimental relationship is a dependent variable. It's sort of the result of the action. So all that great studying you did and all the homework and the paying attention, what was the effect? The effect was you're probably going to have a score on your test or on your report card. So that would be the dependent variable. All that water and sunlight and fertilizer that you applied to your tree, the effect is going to be the dependent variable. It's going to be the amount the tree grows, tree growth. Now, when we do an experiment, we have to control most of the factors, and we only change one to see which one works the best. So let's say that we kept water, fertilizer, and sunshine all constant. In other words, every plant got the same amount every day like they always get, but we changed the amount of CO2. What effect would that have? Then we would know if that increased the growth of the tree or not. Maybe we'd even reduced it. But we would know if there was a cause and effect relationship by controlling that one variable. If we chose instead to control the CO2, the sunshine, and the fertilizer, but we wanted to see if a little bit more water would help. On one plant, we put 1 bucket of water. On a second plant, we put 2 buckets, and on the third plant, 3 buckets, and so on. But we kept all those other things the same. So those are the controlled variable. The water is the only one we changed. So I'm just going to flip ahead a little bit here, and we're going to look at some mind maps. And here's some things that a farmer can control when it comes to the growth of things that a farmer can't control when it comes to the growth of a tree. If this tree is outside, you don't know whether you're going to have sunshine that day or clouds, global warming, the temperature of the air, those types of things, they're beyond the control of the farmer, but yet they do have an effect on the growth of that tree. So all of those things are independent variables, and of course the growth is a dependent variable. Here are some things that the farmer can control, maybe the amount of fertilizer. If you had the plant in a greenhouse, you could put more light. You could use pesticides to get rid of any pests. The date that you plant would have a big factor. So those are all independent variables that the farmer can control. One other way of showing this, just with pictures, it's the same thing. It means the same. Just another example of a mind map. Well, I'm just going to flip ahead again, and here's my little famous racing car, and my go-kart. And I would think that if you're in grade 10 and you wanted to go in a race with a go-kart, you could be pretty crafty in deciding ways or finding ways to make that go-kart go faster. So my goal is fastest speed possible. In other words, that's the result that I want to get. So the speed is going to be the dependent variable. Well, what can I do to increase the speed? There's probably quite a few things that I could do. Maybe the tires, I can make some adjustments. Maybe I can put some lubrication on the axle and make it go faster. Maybe I can make it a sleek design so that it has less wind resistance. All of those things are independent variables, and they affect the dependent variable. This is the effect of changing these things. So cause and effect relationship, and that illustrates it pretty well. We'll flip ahead just a little bit more, and we'll look at a couple of these things. First of all, wants us to identify the dependent variable and the independent variable. The first one, the amount of time spent studying and the test mark received. Well, if that's the case, studying has an effect on test marks. So we would know for sure that the time spent is the independent variable, the mark received is the dependent variable. And the next one, your mass and your height. Well, it's not all the time that your height affects the mass, but certainly it can't be the other way around. Your mass can't affect your height. But we can normally say that tall people have a larger mass. So it's not always the case, but we can make that assumption. So what we're saying is that the independent variable height increases the dependent variable, which is mass. Okay? Brushing your teeth and cavities. I think you can pick out which one is the independent variable, because it's pretty well proven that if you brush your teeth, you'll have less cavities. Some of the other ones that we have listed here have a lot of close relations, and some don't. Number 4, lung cancer and smoking. Number 5, hours worked and money earned. I guess we'd have to assume that this was that we were all making the same wage. And number 6, height and shoe size. Is there a relationship there? You have to decide. Number 7, gas used and distance traveled. Very clearly a relationship there. Number 8, milk consumption and strong bones. Number 9, a health of one's hair and hair products. Guess you have to believe that hair products have an effect on your hair, whether it's healthy or not. And 10, hours of typing practice and your typing speed. So there we have it. Cause and effect relationship, 3 different types of variables, and mind maps. Good luck.